It is Thursday, April 28th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back for another edition of our MLB Best Bets. We got our favorite over-under, we got our favorite money line, and we got our favorite NRFI coming your guys' way.
If you aren't subscribed to our channel, I guess you're probably never going to hit that subscribe button, but do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. What more can we do for you? We've been on an absolute heater, and we're so close to 32,000. Austin, I mean, I'd love to hit that today even. I think we could do it. The people have been showing us tremendous support on our videos.
Look, Logan, there's no better reason for them to subscribe. And today we're doing a giveaway for them because get the special guest out for the second straight day. The broom is out once again. Another 3-0 day. White Sox cash their team total pretty easily. Marlins, Washington Nationals, NRFI, and then Rizzo cashes over 0.5 bases. It does not get better than that. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We don't know what you're doing. Our record's improving day by day. Not to mention a 4-0 sweep back-to-back days in the NBA and the MLB. And so because of that, if we go 4-0 again today, we are doing a giveaway. We're giving $100 to a random subscriber, $100 to a random COS All-Star. So if that's not enough incentive for you to go down below and click that subscribe button, I don't know what it is. Click that like button too. We certainly would appreciate it. And as always, we got to shout out our COS All-Stars. Those are the people that help support the channel. Those are the real MVPs. Look, we can't do it without you guys. So thank you all for supporting the channel. If you want to click the join button on the channel or the link in the description, even put in the pinned comment. Our newest All-Stars, Clint, got Andy, and we got David. Thank you guys all so much for hitting that subscribe button. I didn't even mention our parlay of the day cashed as well, which we'll have another parlay of the day live a little bit later on this morning. Logan, I don't know what better to do. I mean, back-to-back sweeps. I don't know how we go from here, but we're going to throw it to you. First pick of the day, and we're going to get into it. Well, let's go for back-to-back sweeps. If we do it in the NBA, and I'll give you a hint on the NBA play. It is CJ McCollum. You have to wait for that video, but there's a little teaser for the people. But Logan, hit him with your first pick of the day. Let's get it going.
I trust you to hold up your end in the NBA. We're going to hold up our end in the MLB, and we are starting with the Padres versus Reds game, the earliest game on the slate. I'm taking the under 8.5 total runs, -110 odds on FanDuel. Now, you might see, Logan, my book has it at 8. Would you still take it at 8? Yeah, I'd consider taking it at 8 because there is push potential there. You know, they could hit 8 on the dot. I like 8.5. This is the benefit to have multiple books, and Odds GM shows us, you know, if you have multiple books, take the one that has 8.5 if you're taking it under. Why not? Buy yourself the extra half point. But in the past 2 games of the series in Cincinnati, 15 and 13 total runs have been scored. So maybe you're looking at the surface level. You're like, Logan, based on trends, this game's going way over. Well, I don't necessarily think so. 12:35 p.m. Eastern start time. Now, what does that mean for baseball? Sometimes these players come out sleepy. They do. They early baseball, you sometimes see really low scoring games because, you know, the bats just aren't heated up. They're not used to playing a noon game. It's not super inspiring. You know, there's probably going to be tens of fans, not thousands of fans in this stadium. That's all right. Sorry, Cincinnati. Didn't mean to do that. But in San Diego also, they played 3 times. The under hit in all 3 of those games. So you ask yourself, what's more likely, the under to hit where it's already hit in San Diego or the over to hit where it's hit twice in Cincinnati? I think it's going to be the under, and we see something more like the San Diego series. San Diego, 19th in bullpen ERA. Cincinnati, 18th in bullpen ERA. I just want to come out and start with the bullpen stats because when you're picking an over-under, I want some decent bullpens in middle of the pack. I mean, back to middle of the pack. That's fine. But let's talk about starting pitchers as well. Martinez scheduled to start for the Padres. 2, 4, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. So, I mean, the 4 is a little bit high, but he faced an absolute gauntlet of the National League. Dodgers, Braves, and Giants. So if he can hold his own versus those teams, definitely think he can hold his own versus the Cincinnati offense. Cincinnati, 29th in runs, 29th in hits, and 25th in Ks. So all back of the pack in offensive stats. Martinez doesn't have to go out and pitch an absolute gem for this under to hit. He just has to go out and not be catastrophic. Nothing 5, nothing 6 earned run type game. Also worth noting, San Diego's defense allowing the 3rd fewest hits per game. So even if Martinez is pitching a contact, which he might, there's definitely a possibility of that. His defense is backing him up. I love to see that. Also, now let's go to the other side. Let's talk about the Reds for a little bit. Mahle, 2, 7, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. Yeah, the 7 is an outlier, Mahle. If you do that today, we're toast. But he's also faced St. Louis, LA and Cleveland. So those are also some really solid offenses. The Padres offense, 10th in runs, 20th in hits, and 21st in Ks. They're a little bit streaky. I'm not going to lie to you. The Padres offense doesn't inspire me a ton. They have a lot of hitters on the order with low batting averages, and if they're not getting those runners on base, they're simply not converting them to run. San Diego, 20th best in runners left on base per game. So that's not really good one bit. They're stranding a lot of base runners, which is music to my ears when I'm picking an under. And also, last note, this doesn't really have to do with the over-under total, but this game's a pick 'em. It stuck out to me like a sore thumb. So if it's a pick 'em, do we think it's going to be a shootout where the Reds win? I don't necessarily see that, because if it's a shootout where the Reds win, that's just completely going against how I think the game flow is going to go in my mind. So I'm taking the under, 8.5 runs, and I feel pretty good about it. I have cashed 2 team total over-unders in the past 2. So let's keep the hot streak going with the over-unders. And Austin, you don't have a player prop for us today, but I heard you got a game pick for us.
I do have a game pick coming your guys' way. Now, you guys know I like to do player props. Yesterday, Rizzo cashed out for us. But for our sweep, in order to give those $100 to a random subscriber in a COS All-Star, today I'm going with the team that has treated me nicely, and it is going to be my Blue Jays. We're taking the Blue Jays, just taking the money line, minus 150 on DraftKings. Yes, I know it's juiced, and it's minus 150 DraftKings, minus 162 on FanDuel. You can take the run line if you want, but I personally am not a big fan of betting on run lines, especially if they're the home team, which they are today. Now, there's got to be something that we got to say. It's the bounce back Blue Jays. They're coming off a loss yesterday. They're the only team in the MLB to not lose consecutive games this season, 6-0 after a loss on the money line. Look, I'm going to keep riding with the trend. They cashed out for me the last time they lost, and then I picked them the next game. I'm going to pick them again today. And yesterday, yes, they did lose. They lost 7-1. Their bats did not show up. And we're going to need a little bit more than 1 run today. If they only want to score one run, then we're going to need a big day out of Manoah on the mound. They also are going up against Whitlock. Now, we look at Manoah, arguably probably the best pitcher that the Blue Jays have to trot out, at least so far this season. He's 3-0 on the year. He's got a 2 ERA, and he's gone 6 innings pitched in all 3 starts. 6 innings, I believe, on the dot. And we look at on the other side of the mound, they have Whitlock for the Red Sox. He is a reliever that they turn to more of a starter. He's not going to pitch, 6 innings today. If he goes the farthest, it'll be like 3 or 4 innings. And we look at it, they're going to be doing more of a bullpen game today. And the Red Sox bullpen, not all that great. They aren't the worst in the league, but they do have the 14th highest bullpen ERA. So they're up like right middle of the pack, maybe a tad above. And their bullpen has been better as of late. But still, if this game gets into the ending, they're going to be going to a lot of their bullpen pitchers. Toronto's bullpen, very solid this year, 8th lowest ERA in the MLB. And I really like the Blue Jays today to bounce back. That's what they've been doing all season long. Minus 150 on DraftKings. Like I said, you can take the run line. I'm just personally not a big fan of betting run lines. Sorry that we have a game pick and not a player prop. I know you guys love the player props. We'll have one, obviously, in the parlay with CJ McCollum in the NBA. Go check out that video. But there were not a lot of lines available this morning, and I didn't want to force a pick if I didn't have to, unless I had to. So we aren't going to do that on the channel. But, Logan, I think you know what time it is. Get those flags out, because NRFI Nation is on an absolute tear this season. We are 15-6 overall. I don't think we ever expected to be doing this well. And today we got an interesting coming their way. Now, we looked at them, and yesterday there was a couple NRFIs that we considered, but we avoided those ones. And today, I think we got a pretty good one today. I love NRFIs, and I know the people in the chat all love them as well. And, man, I'm ready to do this one. We're going Tigers versus Twins. We're taking the no-run first inning bet. It is minus 137 on Barstool. And there's a lot of varying. Surprisingly, we're not on FanDuel today. We see, obviously, FanDuel's got minus 142, minus 155. We really like this one. Now, there's a couple different reasons why. And I got to go to my man, Scooble. Scooble's on the mound for the Tigers. He has 0 earned runs in his last 2 games. I know we picked his under, and in the first gets under for strikeouts, his first start. He's looked very solid as of late, looked very solid in spring training as well. I think he can really hold these Minnesota Twins bats. I mean, they are 9th in first inning runs. So, they're not first or they're not last, but they're, middle of the pack offense. I'm going to be honest. We were really worried about one guy. It's Byron Buxton. This guy's been absolutely lighting it up this season. He is, I believe, 0 for 8 in this series so far. So we love to see that. But this is a guy that can one crack of the bat and that ball's going out of the stadium. So he's going to be the one guy we got to really be concerned about. But I think he can hold the Twins side of the bats. Scooble, that is. What about the other side, Logan?
Bailey Ober is scheduled to pitch for the Twins. 1 and 0 earned runs in his last 2 games. So I really like that for Ober. He's a pitcher that's sometimes shaky, but this year he's had a pretty solid start of the year. Detroit also, their offense doesn't exactly scare me. They're just pretty slow starting, 19th in first inning runs. I think Ober can get it done for us. Detroit also, for what it's worth, they're scoreless yesterday. So, I mean, their bats definitely are not consistent at all. The odds makers don't think this is going to be a shootout. The over-under set to 7. That's a very comfortable range for us to pick the no-run first inning because we just have to take a flyer that the runs aren't going to happen in the first inning. Fingers crossed, Nerfy Nation, right? But I love this one, Austin. I think we have a really good chance of flying our flags again. And if you aren't flying your flag down in the comments, you better go do so because this is Nerfy Nation. We're kicking Nerfy Nation's butt, and I want the butt kicking to continue today.
Yeah, let's hope we can fly these flags for the 16th time this season. If you haven't become an all-star, definitely go do it because you got another chance at becoming, getting $100 richer just from this. If we go 4-0 once again, we would love to do that in the NBA and MLB. Obviously, our parlay of the day will post a little bit later, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. We got these daily videos coming your way every single morning. We appreciate you guys as always. This has been Austin. This has been Logan. We'll catch you guys again on Friday morning. Let's bring out those brooms once again.